I am so thankful that none of our officers were injured. I send my condolences to the family of the decedent, and also just acknowledge how this ripples out into our community with all the emotions and the concerns. So I'll go ahead and start with the brief. On Friday, August 23rd, at approximately 10:30 a.m., IMPD Special Weapons and Tactics officers were at a motel in the 900 block of Pendleton Pike collaborating with East District detectives. They were there to locate a wanted male suspect who was known to be armed and dangerous in the possession of narcotics. The officers were in possession of a signed and approved search warrant. SWAT officers who were in full uniform made several announcements outside of the motel room door. SWAT officers used both the public address system and police sirens in an attempt to get the suspect to peacefully surrender. Unfortunately, the suspect did not exit the motel room. At that time, SWAT officers made forced entry into the motel room, locating two adult subjects coming out of the restroom. Officers gave several verbal commands. Officers gave several verbal commands. The female occupant in the room listened to the officer's command and was safely detained for additional questioning. The second individual in the motel room, an adult male, did not follow SWAT officers' commands. While officers were attempting to place the suspect in handcuffs, a struggle ensued within the kitchenette area of the motel room. The suspect forcefully pulled away from officers and at some point during the struggle retrieved a Draco firearm which shoots rifle rounds, and he continues to resist the officers' attempts to handcuff the suspect. At some point, an officer-involved shooting occurred. Following the shooting, SWAT medics who are staged nearby rendered aid to the suspect. The suspect was transported to an area hospital in critical condition. Unfortunately, the suspect was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. No uninvolved citizens were injured during this incident. Detectives are confident that there is no ongoing threat to the community. There are no suspects outstanding, Detectives located two firearms in the motel room. The photo will be attached. The image of the rifle-style firearm has been cropped for sensitivity reasons to avoid showing graphic content. The officers were equipped with body-worn cameras which were activated during the incident. IMPD's aviation unit responded to the scene with drone technology to assist with the collection of aerial photos and crime scenes. The Indianapolis Marion County Forensic Services responded to identify and collect potential forensic evidence. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office responded to the scene to assist in the investigation. The Marion County Coroner's Office will be assisting and will determine the exact manner and cause of death. The Marion County Coroner's Office will release the decedent's name once proper next of kin notification has been made. Detectives are confident that there is no ongoing threat to this community. The Critical Incident Response Team responded to the scene to conduct the criminal investigation. A separate administrative investigation is being conducted by our internal affairs. The two SWAT officers who fired their guns have been placed on administrative leave, as is standard procedure in all officer-involved shooting investigations. Civilian Majority Use of Force Review Board will conduct a mandatory hearing for any and attempt use of deadly force against a person. This occurs after the conclusion of the criminal process. The Police Officer Support Team responded to provide peer support for our officers. The IMPD Chaplain's Office responded to assist those involved. The IMPD Victims Assistant Unit responded to assist the officers, detectives, and the female who was on scene. Anyone with information is asked to call Detective Sergeant Mark Prater at the Homicide Office by calling 327-327-3475. Alternatively, anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 317-262-TIPS.